Level 1. The YouTuber. You are 24 in Phoenix, Arizona, 370 miles from the nearest studio lot, and the most watched thing you've ever made is a 40-second video of your cat knocking a lamp off a table. 11,000 views. Your actual films? 101 subscribers after 3 years. 46 are spam. The other 55 might be. YouTube flags your channel for an inauthentic content review. Not because you're a bot, because the algorithm cannot tell if a human made these on purpose. Your DVX $180 on eBay, cracked viewfinder, sits in the corner of your bedroom where the lighting is least terrible. Your mother asks on a Tuesday if you've considered a real job. Your college friends are at Deloitte and stopped texting back. Marcus, your old roommate from film school, whose parents funded his $15,000 short while you cut yours on a cracked MacBook, wins Best Director at a 48-hour film festival. After party. You're near the bar next to Elena, lead actress. 3 festival shorts. The kind of face that makes rooms rearrange themselves. You've been working up the nerve to say something for 20 minutes. Marcus walks over. Doesn't look at you. Looks at her. You know what his most popular video is? Your cat. 40 seconds. 11,000 views. His actual films got flagged by YouTube for being, what was it? Inauthentic content. He squeezes your shoulder. But honestly, you'd be really good at kid stuff. Like, genuinely. Elena laughs. Not with you. Marcus slaps her ass, doesn't break eye contact with you, and walks her out to his G-Wagon in the valet. You stand there holding a drink you haven't touched. You don't leave for another hour, because leaving means walking past the valet. A week later, a director named Carla finds the cat video at 1 a.m., clicks your profile by accident, and DMs you 3 wines deep. Need a PA. Car dealership shoot. $150. 12 hours. You almost don't reply. Between that drunk message and an Academy Award, 7 contracts, a clause that migrates to page 71, and a version of yourself, the man at that after-party, will one day pretend he always saw coming. Level 2. The production assistant. There are 6,000 mornings exactly like this one, between a parking lot, breakfast burrito, and anywhere that matters. Monday. 6:45 a.m. Regional car dealership commercial. Your job is to carry equipment, label cables, tape down cords, and make sure no one trips and sues the production company. The pay is now $175 a day, before taxes. The director, Carla, spots you and makes the face people make when they check their sent messages the morning after. Didn't think you'd actually come, she says. She's been doing this for 6 years and bills at $3,500 per shoot day. You do the math in the parking lot and realize she makes in one day what you made on YouTube in 3 years. Total, combined. AdSense lifetime earnings, $214. By hour 6, Carla stops regretting the wine. Carla offers you a recurring PA gig. You sign a crew agreement without reading it. Page 4. A work product assignment. Clause that means every frame you shoot on set, even behind-the-scenes content on your own phone, belongs to the production company. You don't notice. 3 months from now, you'll find out exactly what that clause costs you. Marcus posts a behind-the-scenes reel from an indie feature he PA'd on in Austin. He's carrying a slate, but the caption says, collaborating with visionaries. The reel gets 12,000 views in 2 days. Your best video took 11 months to reach 340. You watch it 9 times trying to identify the variable. It's not talent. It's not the camera. It's proximity. You start shooting behind-the-scenes content on Carla's shoots. Behind the scenes of a car dealership commercial, the least cinematic thing you've ever pointed a camera at. You post one to YouTube. 1,200 views in 4 days, more than anything you've ever made. The comments tell you everything. They don't want your art. They want to watch someone else work. That stings. But $0 doesn't have opinions about what's dignified. 7 months in, Carla gives you second unit camera duties on a $40,000 branded content shoot for a regional bank. You shoot 14 hours. The footage is clean. The client emails Carla, CCs you by accident, saying, whoever shot the B-roll has a good eye. First industry praise without a name attached. The DVX 100 stays in the bag on every set. You don't use it, but you carry it. That night a DM lands. Not from a subscriber, not from a filmmaker. From a producer with a $6,000 budget who needs a director. Level 3, the independent short director. The budget is $6,000. which sounds like a number until you spend half of it on locations and insurance before anyone says action. Your colorist does wedding videos on weekends and charges half rate because he believes in the prime project, which is what people say when they can't pay rent either. The producer, Ray, is 31, has 3 regional festival shorts, and the calm voice of someone who has watched a shoot go sideways twice. He becomes your mentor without either of you calling it that. You are 26. 3 days into pre-production, Ray reads the crew agreement you signed with Carla. He finds the work product clause on page 4. You don't own any of the behind-the-scenes footage you shot for the last 7 months, he says. 1 sentence. No follow-up. 7 months of content, the thing that built your audience, legally belongs to someone else's company. You call this part tuition. Ray teaches contracts in fragments. Never sign anything that doesn't have a termination date. Never. You cast 4 actors, 2 defer their pay. 1 negotiates a $200 day rate. The 4th asks for a producer credit instead of money, which Ray declines in 11 seconds. Credits are currency. Don't give away currency because you're short on cash. That sentence will echo through 8 more contracts, each one thicker than the last. The shoot is 5 days. Day 3. The tape deck on the DVX 100 jams during a take that everyone, you, the cinematographer, the lead actress, knows was the best performance of the day. Gone. You reshoot 4 times. Take 7 is 80% of what take 3 was, and that 20% haunts you through post-production. The film screens at a regional festival in Ohio. Doesn't win. But a programmer from Austin DMs you. Not right for our slate this year. Send us the next one. That's more than 412 other submissions got. The short gets 48,000 views on YouTube, more than your entire channel history combined. A production manager at a mid-sized Chicago ad agency sees it and emails Ray, not you. Ray forwards the email with 1 line. This one's yours. It's a pitch to direct a $35,000 commercial for a regional restaurant chain. The contract is 6 pages. Page 3. A clause granting the agency a first look at any branded content concept you develop for the next 18 months. You read it this time. You circle it. But reading a trap and escaping one are different skills. And you've only learned the first. Level 4. The commercial director. The first look clause on page 3 of the restaurant commercial contract. You redline it. The agency's legal team sends back a revised version. The clause is now on page 5. Reworded. Still there. You call Ray. He laughs. They moved it. That's what they do. The clause migrates. You strike it. They accept. You've saved yourself 18 months of creative debt, and you don't feel anything because you're too busy learning that this is the job. The camera is 40% of it. The paperwork is the rest. 9 months. 4 commercials. Dental clinic, law firm, brewery, Toyota dealership. Total billings, $168,000, of which you clear $41,000 after production costs, taxes, and the accountant Ray told you to hire. Your reel is 90 seconds of broadcast quality footage. The DVX 100 sits on the shelf behind your edit desk, visible in every Zoom call. Nobody asks about it. You send the reel to 35 production companies. 3 reply. 2 are polite versions of no. The 3rd watches your reel, takes 70 seconds, and says, "You're green, but you've got timing." Marcus has a podcast now. Director's Intent, episode 14. He says, there's a real question about whether someone who built an audience on behind-the-scenes content can actually direct a scene that isn't about themselves. He doesn't say your name. Doesn't need to. 3 people text you the timestamp. You open a note on your phone. Marcus's name at the top. First entry. Timestamp. Quote, episode number. You close the note. No response. Your Toyota spot outperforms the client's previous campaign by 18%. Nobody congratulates you. The production company sends the next brief. That is the congratulation. A creative director at a mid-tier LA agency sees the spot and emails the production company asking who directed it. Your name forwarded for the first time by someone who isn't Ray. A producer named Dana calls on a Tuesday. Independent feature. Drama. $320,000 budget. 18-day shoot. You're the only director I've talked to who can make a $35,000 spot look like it cost $80,000. I need that skill on a feature. The contract is 31 pages. Page 11. First look clause. You circle it. You don't call Ray this time. You know what it looks like now, but knowing what a trap looks like and knowing what it costs are still two different lessons. Level 5. The Indie Feature Director. Dana, the feature producer, meets you at a studio commissary in Burbank. The film is a drama about a family unraveling over a single weekend. Budget: $320,000, which sounds large until you divide it by 18 shooting days. $17,777 per day to cover cast, crew, locations, catering, insurance, and post. On paper, it reads like a lease, where you're the tenant. You hire an entertainment attorney for the first time. $375 an hour. She reads the contract in 2 days. Page 11, the first look clause. You caught that. Page 19, a key man clause. If you leave, financing pulls and you owe back prep costs. But page 24 is the one. Reversion. If the film underperforms a benchmark within 36 months, all rights revert to the financier, and you cannot use any footage for your reel or pitch materials. They're not buying your next project. They're buying the proof that you made this one. You negotiate page 24 for 11 days. Reversion becomes conditional on recoupment. You lose behind-the-scenes rights. You keep real footage. Signed. The shoot is 18 days in Albuquerque. Day 9, the lead actor, theater-trained, 12 TV credits, refuses a 6th take. The character wouldn't repeat himself. You rewrite the blocking to capture the performance from a different angle without him knowing. The cinematographer notices. She adjusts the lens without speaking. Day 18, you wrap at 11:47 p.m. You pull the DVX 100 from your bag and shoot 40 seconds of the empty set. Lights off, chairs stacked, one cable still taped to the floor. The film is in post. You check your mother's credit card balance, the one she opened 4 years ago, to fund your festival submissions, $8,400. You pay it off on a Tuesday. She finds out 2 weeks later from a zero balance statement. She calls. You didn't have to do that. I know. 5 seconds of silence. Then she asks if you've eaten today. Marcus DMs you for the first time in 2 years. Congrats, bro. Huge look. My cinematographer is looking for indie features to shoot. Want me to connect you? Generosity structured as condescension. Your cinematographer shot the entire film. Second entry in the phone note. Closed. No response. The film gets accepted to SXSW, Narrative Spotlight section. It screens to a 240-seat theater at 70% capacity. A woman in the third row asks about the blocking in the exact scene you rewrote on the fly. Her name is Nora, development executive. After the Q&A, she hands you a card. 3 projects need directors. Budgets between $2 million and $8 million. The DVX 100 is in your bag. You carry it out of the theater and sit in the rental car for 4 minutes before starting the engine. Level 6. The Mid-Budget Studio Director. Nora calls 3 weeks after SXSW. The first of the 3 projects she mentioned. A crime thriller. $4.2 million budget. 24-day shoot. SAG theatrical. Your fee. $85,000 plus 3% of net profits, which your attorney explains is the film industry's most elegant fiction. Net profits is a number designed to never exist. Ask for adjusted gross. You ask. They counter with 1.5% of adjusted gross after distribution costs. Taken. The crew is 47 people. The first A, D, calls you director, and you almost look behind you. Somewhere between page 4 of a crew agreement and this moment, you crossed a line nobody marked. The film releases on a streaming platform after a limited theatrical run. 14 million viewers in the first 28 days. You're in a barbershop on a Saturday. The barber is watching something on his phone propped against the mirror. It's your film. He's 34 minutes in, the barbershop scene. He pauses it. You seen this? It's actually good. He doesn't know you directed it. You sit in the chair and watch him watch your film while he cuts your hair. The barber is the audience. Revenue reality. $4.9 million gross against $4.2 million budget. Distribution fees, 30%. Marketing recoupment, $1.8 million. Adjusted gross, $0. The film made money, you didn't. Marcus has pivoted to calling himself a filmmaker entrepreneur. He launches Vanguard Films. The press release uses the phrase, director-driven storytelling 7 times. He has directed 1 short funded by his parents and PA'd on 2 features. Third entry in the phone note. Closed. Your mother's 2011 Honda Civic has 187,000 miles and a check engine light that's been on since the Obama administration. You buy her a certified pre-owned Lexus ES on a Tuesday. She finds out when the dealership calls. You spent too much. It's pre-owned. I know what pre-owned costs. Neither of you mentions the $8,400 credit card or the drunk DM that started everything. The DVX 100 is on the shelf in your home office now. Nobody asks about it. Nora calls on a Monday. The platform wants another. Bigger budget, bigger IP. The IP is a best-selling novel. The budget, $28 million. Not $4.2 million. 28. The contract is 67 pages. Page 29. First look clause. Bigger house, same lock, she says. Page 29 is just the latest address, and the next one will be deeper. Level 7, the Hollywood blockbuster director. 4 months later, the green light lands. The novel adaptation is a psychological thriller with a built-in audience of 2.3 million readers. Your fee, $400,000 against 5% of first dollar gross after break-even, a number your attorney describes as the least bad option. You have a producer's office on the studio lot. The DVX 100 is on a shelf next to 3 scripts and a photo from the Albuquerque wrap. A PA asks if it's vintage. You say, it's mine, and don't elaborate. The studio assigns a creative executive named Todd to your project. Todd has never directed, never produced, MBA from Columbia. His title includes creative the way a salad includes croutons. Technically present, structurally irrelevant. His job, relay notes from people not in the room. Week 3, Todd suggests removing a 2-minute dialogue scene, the emotional center of Act 2. The data shows audiences disengage after 90 seconds of unbroken dialogue. You ask which data. He says, from a narrative standpoint, and pauses, as if the phrase itself were the data. You keep the scene. Todd notes your decision in a shared document called Creative Alignment Tracker. The composer delivers a temp score designed to sell a trailer, not a film. You call him. This sounds like the version of this film that exists in a pitch deck. Second attempt. Acoustic. Restrained. The studio hates it. Used anyway. The film opens on 2,400 screens. $38 million opening weekend. It grosses $112 million worldwide, against $28 million. In the Tuesday meeting, the VP pulls up one slide. Projected worldwide, $143 million. Actual $112 million. Gap, 22%. Nobody mentions the $84 million it earned. A hit that missed its model. Marcus's first studio film, a $16 million action picture, opens to $9 million the same quarter and quietly moves to streaming. His Instagram goes dark for 3 weeks. Fourth entry. A director named Sophia debuts at Sundance with a $180,000 thriller that looks like it cost $2 million. She's 26, directed on a camera she bought on eBay. She says she wants to keep it independent. You said that once. You open a new note, not Marcus's note. One line. The window closes faster than they tell you. Closed. The studio sends a 91-page extension deal. You already know what's inside before your attorney opens it. First look clause. Todd permanently assigned. 23 days of negotiation. You win both points. The studio accepts and pushes the green light for your next project, 4 months. Restraint has a price tag, and this time, it's time. Level 8. The A-list auteur. Variety publishes its directors to watch list on a Tuesday. You're number 14. Marcus is number 11. You find out from a text from Ray, the first in 8 months. Page 4 got you here. 4 words that carry 7 years. You reply, still reading every page. He responds with a period. That's more than most mentors give. A filmmaker whose poster was on your wall at 22, when you were making 340-view YouTube videos in a bedroom with bad lighting, asks you to co-direct a segment for an anthology film. You meet at his house in the Hollywood Hills. 1 Oscar on a bookshelf between a Spanish dictionary and a copy of In the Blink of an Eye. He watches your crime thriller on his laptop, pauses twice, rewinds once. The blocking in the barbershop scene. Whose idea? Yours. He nods. That's not something you learn. You either see it or you don't. You sit with that sentence for 6 weeks. You are 35. You close on a 3-bedroom house in Pasadena, the neighborhood where your mother worked as a home health aide for 22 years, driving to houses she could see from the bus stop but never enter through the front door. Her name on the deed. She finds out when a FedEx envelope arrives with keys. She calls. This is too much. It's the neighborhood. She knows what that means. The bus stop does. Your next project. An original screenplay you've developed for 3 years. Budget. $45 million. The studio greenlight comes with a 108-page contract. Your attorney, same one since the indie feature, now $525 an hour, reads it in 5 days. Page 71. First look clause. 4 projects. Nested inside a paragraph about strategic creative partnership alignment, which is a sentence designed to make you stop reading. 7 contracts. 7 addresses. Same lock. You negotiate it to 2 projects with a 24-month sunset provision. You're the only director at this level who still reads their own contracts. You say, I learned on page 4. Marcus posts an Instagram carousel titled, Directors Who Shaped Me. Slide 4, you. A still from your SXSW short. Caption. Before any of this, we were 2 kids at a 48-hour film fest trying to figure it out. He's never mentioned the festival publicly. Never mentioned kids stuff. Never mentioned Elena, or the G-Wagon, or the hour you spent at that bar, because leaving meant walking past the valet. 7 entries in the phone note. You close it. Permanently. Delete nothing. Just close. You untag yourself. That's the whole response. The original screenplay shoots over 38 days, wraps on a Tuesday. The studio screens the rough cut. The head of the film group sends 1 email. This is our awards submission for the season. Not a question. A statement. The DVX-100 is in the trunk. You take it out. You don't know why. You carry it inside. Level 9. The Academy Award winner. Tuesday. Nominations announced at 5:38 a.m. Pacific. Your phone has 94 unread messages by 5:41 a.m. Best Picture. Best Director. Best Original Screenplay. The film you developed for 3 years, negotiated across 108 pages, and shot in 38 days, is now a sentence on a press release next to names you grew up watching. You let your publicist go to voicemail. 7 minutes in the kitchen. The DVX-100 is on the shelf above the coffee maker. Viewfinder still cracked. Tape deck still jams every 40 minutes. It has never been on a set that mattered, and it has been in the room for every set that did. Your production company has 14 projects in development, 6 in active production. Your development executive, a 27-year-old who reminds you of yourself except faster, smarter, hasn't lost a take to a jammed tape deck, manages the slate. You manage relationships, studio, agent, publicist, attorney, 14 calls per week, none about directing. The 22% your blockbuster underperformed by follows you into every greenlight meeting, like a credit score you can't dispute. You watch your peers. One directs 2 episodes a season of a show she didn't create and won't own. Another hasn't made a film in 4 years. Bio still says filmmaker. Sophia signed a 3-picture deal. First look clause on page 22. Your attorney handled the other side. You don't tell Sophia. You're not sure that's your place. Marcus attends the governor's ball after the ceremony. He tells a Deadline interviewer, "This wave of director-driven, character-first storytelling, I've been championing that since day one." The note closed 3 months ago. Marcus once told a room full of people your best work was a cat video. You're holding an Oscar. The inversion doesn't need narration. It just needs to exist. The ceremony is Sunday. By Tuesday, nothing on the calendar. Home. The DVX-100 off the shelf. A mini DV tape, one of 4 remaining, from a pack of 10 bought at B&H Photo for $32 in 2014. The same corner of the room where the lighting is least terrible. The viewfinder is cracked. The tape deck jams at minute 38. You wait 2 minutes. It catches. 40 minutes of shooting. No script. No brief. No slate. No actors. Just the room, the light, and the thing you used to do before anyone watched. Before anyone paid, before anyone put your name on a list or a carousel slide next to Scorsese. You did not become an Academy Award-winning director because you were good at making YouTube videos. You became one because Carla needed a PA on a car dealership shoot, and you were already holding the camera. If this one stayed with you, like and drop a comment where you're watching from. Subscribe for more.